Now, here is Samson's stake. And this part 2 of punishing the criminal vigilante takeovers. In part 1, I pointed to how the ritual thuggery by party foot soldiers in locking out and violent takeover of government offices was not only unconstitutional but punishable as crimes, because the threats of harm, threats of death that are being issued to these people, officers, assaults that is happening, trespass onto property, and damage to property as well, are all arrestable offenses in Ghana. But just somehow we're seeing the police acting unable to deal with this. How funny. Where outgoing officials are caught looting, and we have seen some footages to that effect, you can exercise what is a constitutional right to take evidence to prevent it from happening, or you can effect what is known as citizens' arrest. So when these young people, you gather together and go to a place, you feel there's some looting of government property going on, you can take evidence of what is happening and bring in the police. You are required by law to hand over the suspect if you arrested someone. You are not supposed to manhandle them. You're supposed to hand them over to the nearest police officer or police station. And sometimes your fear is that they will not do what is useful. So police the process and make sure they are taken into custody and dealt with. But one effective way to stop this embarrassing ritual is for government to pay attention to the structures as set up by the transition law. There is urgent need to resource the office of the Administrator General and the estates unit as created by the law. The law's requirement is that there should be handing over notes prepared not later than 30 days before the date of the presidential election. Before the presidential election, all the ministers and appointees must have their handing over notes ready. And they are supposed to submit these handing over notes to this Administrator General. The last time we heard about this Administrator General, his office is not attended to at all. He didn't even have a functioning vehicle to do his job. And he has a very big job to do. He takes these handing over notes. He's supposed to retain a copy. He or she is supposed to then take a copy to Parliament, to the Chief Justice, and to the Council of State. And then he would make some copies to be kept at the Public Records and Archives Department. This person is actually appointed with terms, the same terms and conditions, the same as a justice of the Court of Appeal. But look at how we're treating that office. It's not even fit for purpose. There's a presidential estate unit that the Administrator General is supposed to manage. And among his duties is to take and keep an inventory of the assets and properties of the government. All properties and assets which are not vested in the Lands Commission, he is supposed to take care of them and ensure that the assets and properties of government are maintained in good condition and in tenantable repair. And he's supposed to ensure that the assets and properties of government are transferred in good condition and tenantable repair. Tell me, we gave ourselves a good law, but we are not making sure that that office and the officer are doing their job. Those who are supposed to vacate residential facilities, for the president and the vice president, of course, midnight, the president ceases to be, they are supposed to leave. But for the other people, they are giving at least 3 months within which to leave their residences. So there's no point for party foot soldiers to invade people's homes and ask them to leave because the term of a government has expired. And perhaps maybe we should look at amending this law or our laws in a way that we can do the transition in the manner that is done elsewhere, like in the US. Trump had not taken over office, but he had made his appointments, and his appointees were going through the confirmation process. We wanted to do a process where Parliament, the elections will be taken a little back. We stopped it. Can we do that? That will be my take. The unnecessary violent thuggery and takeovers must stop. And it is criminal, so the police must act.